time or two. I've been around and round with you. You don't like the way I carry myself, woman. Maybe it's time for you to choose. You tell me that I'm drinking.
The Peters Township Senior Recognition Ceremony. Well, we thank you for sticking with us for the actual hockey game. For those of you who didn't, yes, it is a special night at Printscape, honoring the class of 2023, just before Peters Township takes on Cathedral Prep in game number 17 of 20 for both of these teams. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is PIHL Hockey Night Live, sponsored by the Mount Washington Shop and Save, and brought to you here on 10-Band TV. You can find the broadcast online at 10band.tv, as well as on Amazon Fire and Roku. For Peters Township, they are in contention for another number one seed. They have clinched a playoff berth with 4 games to go. But like I mentioned, still plenty to play for, as they are just 1 point behind Central Catholic 2 points behind Central Catholic for the top spot. The problem is they've got Seneca Valley and North Allegheny tied with them at 25 points. Peters Township has a record of 12, 3, and 1. That one was an overtime loss the last time we saw them here at South Point. 6-5, a defeat in the extra period to Upper St. Clair. But since then, Peters Township has bounced back with a couple of road victories. They shut out Bethel Park 4-0, hurting the Blackhawks' playoff hopes. And then, at the end of last week, they defeated Baldwin 6-1. Austin Malley has had 4 points combined in the last 2 wins. And Kyle Thomas, junior goalie, has gotten a little bit of run here lately, as he's made the last 2 starts, and he's stopped 47 of 48 shots. There you see the Peters Township Indians warming up down to our left here at the arena. Thanks to Todd Kazarowski and crew for keeping us on the air and making this such a wonderful presentation of the game we all love. PT in their alternate black jerseys with the red stripe, and that's encased in the old vintage white, if you will. Kind of a throwback look for PT, which they'll sport here after the senior recognition ceremony. Their opponent tonight, the Cathedral Prep Ramblers out of Erie, coached by Mark Sprickman. He'll go eye-to-eye with Rick Tingle behind the bench. Sprickman's got his club in a pretty good position. In fact, they just need 1 more point the rest of the way in their last 4 games to clinch a playoff spot. Sounds pretty easy, but of course you've still got to go out there and you still got to go do it. And tonight should prove not to be an easy assignment for the Ramblers, who have essentially treaded water since a 3-1 start. They've gone 7-4 in their past 11, though, alternating wins and losses in their last 3. And looking back to their last 2 games tells you all you need to know about the season for Cathedral Prep. Just a little bit inconsistent. They've had some good. They beat North Allegheny 4-3 at home a couple of weeks ago, but then they followed that up 6 days later with a 5-1 loss at Seneca Valley at the Barrel Ice Complex in Warrendale. The Ramblers still feature the number 3 scorer in Class AAA in Braden Sprickman. The senior defenseman has 34 points, including 23 goals. But they have sat out the last couple of weeks, so they're trying to get back at it here. Sprickman's going to try to reclimb the scoring race. He was number 1 for the longest time this year. And the Ramblers are going to also try to add on to their 9 victories as they look for a bounce-back season. So far, so good. Now that they've played more than 3/4 of the year, they sit at 9-7 on the year, and they are 7 points ahead of Baldwin, who is the first team out of the playoffs. So like I said, they just need 1 more point, and actually they can vault themselves as high as number 2 in the league, at least if they do win out. The one practical thing they do have to look at, they are tied with Upper St. Clair for 5th. So if they want to get into that 5 spot, they'll have to outplay the Panthers over the last couple of games here. Just moments away from the opening faceoff, there you see the Ramblers are in the white jerseys with the big orange stripe across the middle of the jersey. So similar look, but different colors, obviously, for these two teams tonight. They played once already this year, as you might have guessed. It's a two-round round robin in the 11-team Class AAA in the PIHL. So you play each team twice, home and road. Peters Township picked up a 6-2 win at the Erie Bank Sports Park in late October, a broadcast we had for you right here on 10 Band TV. Peters Township rode a 3-goal first period, built a 4-0 lead and held on to that one, basically. Ben Kovac had a couple of goals for Peters Township. Will Tomko, Troy Jones, and Austin Malley also scored for the Indians that night, all the way up Interstate 79. Nolan Hilbert, one of the 9 seniors honored today, made 15 saves on 17 shots. And the only guy to beat him on the day was Braden Sprickman. He had a couple of goals in that one, but Peters Township skated away with the victory. Before we do get started, let me rattle off the names of the seniors that are honored tonight by Peters Township. Forward number 10, Porter Erb. Defenseman number 19, Kobe Ringwald. Also, captain, forward number 21, Ryder Mertens. Number 24, the forward Anthony Lebalarte, who will dress and play tonight. Defenseman number 51, Richie Woods. Forward number 81, Nathan D'Amico. And finally, forward number 98, Austin Malley. So there you go. Congrats, boys, on a wonderful career. And I know that they're hoping that there's a lot more in store yet this season, much like it was last season when they went all the way to the Penguins Cup Championship and the state championship. So here we go. The puck about to be dropped at center ice at Printscape Arena, formerly known as the Isoplex, and we are playing hockey on a Tuesday night. We have the one broadcast for you tonight, just Peters Township versus Cathedral Prep, and we have a whistle and a stoppage on an offside, it appears, at the Cathedral Prep line. Didn't catch who was in net for Cathedral Prep to be sure, but I'm almost certain it's going to be Tanner Ball, the junior. Has played every minute of every game for the Ramblers with an .894 save percentage and a 3.38 goals against average. Dumped down into the PTN, and just as I suspected, it's Nolan Hilbert, the only senior goalie, getting the start tonight for PT. So he interrupts the mini run of Kyle Thomas, and as usual, Rick Tingle is using multiple goaltenders. He's not a guy to wear out one, and sometimes not a guy to even wear out two. We've seen seasons where he's played 4 different goalies. I can't recall the season that was specifically the case, but it wasn't that long ago. Mertens in and another offside on his wrist shot, which was stopped for good measure by Ball. Yes, it is Ball. Nolan Hilbert, though, for Peters Township has a record of 5-2, an .858 save percentage, and a 2.84 goals against average. No shutouts on the year for Hilbert. In fact, Thomas's blanking of the Blackhawks of Bethel Park last week was the first shutout of the season for Peters Township, which that's odd because they've given up the second fewest goals in the league. Tomko right on goal with that one. That tested ball. Bouncing out in front. Malley hunting for the rebound, and he couldn't dig it out of legs and bodies near the crease. So here comes Ethan Cunningham, one of the all-stars for Cathedral Prep. I called the AAA game on 10 Band TV if you caught that one, whether live or in person. And Cunningham and Sprickman connected for a goal in that game. Braden Sprickman, that is. There is another Sprickman, Matthias, also a defenseman, but a junior. And, of course, they're coached by Mark Sprickman. So we'll try to keep them apart for you. Kovac circles to the outside, slowing things down. 4th in the league in scoring as Kovac fed it to Tomko, tried to bank it in from below the goal line against Ball, but Ball had no trouble with that. Tomko is 5th in the league in scoring, and I mentioned to you that Braden Sprickman on Cathedral Prep is 3rd. Ryder Mertens also having a solid season. The captain of the Indians has 22 points, including a team best 5 power play goals. The power play is number 1 in AAA for PT. But Mertens is in the top 10 in Class AAA scoring. 22 points in 16 games, more than a point per. Here's Maeda, recently off injury, to Jones, the one-timer. He swept it right on goal, and Ball had to be sharp to make that save. I had the pleasure of calling Troy Jones's S-Mark Stars win at the NAPHL Pittsburgh tier event this past weekend up in Cranberry. Well, Cranberry and RMU Island Sports Center. Here is McGarry for Cathedral Prep. Stripped by Jones. Both Jones and Joey Gajtka are on the under 16 version of the S-Mark Stars. Here comes Jones. He's stopped on the doorstep by Ball. Jones just casually stick handling in, and he made his way almost all the way to the front of the net. So a great start for Peters Township. 2 outstanding chances here. This is wristed down the length, wide of the goal, from just inside the red line, so no icing called. Taking this is Austin Corbel, hammering it off the sidewall. Nearly turned over by the Ramblers. The Ramblers lost to Seneca Valley a couple of weeks ago. They had last week off. This is their 17th game. Same deal for Peters Township. On the regroup, errant pass, icing against CP, which won the Penguins Cup as recently as 2016. That was a back-to-back situation for Cathedral Prep. Saw my friend Keith Barnes wrote a story on Cathedral Prep's success this year for the Tri-State News Service. Ran in the Post-Gazette as well. McDowell of Erie also doing well in the PIHL this season. Not in this division, though, or this class AAA. Digging for it is Porter Erb. Got it free to Caven Fisher right on net with that shot. And that's blocked away by Ball. Fisher leads PT defenders with 4 assists. Centering pass. Levelarte stopped. Another chance there. Ball makes a second save. Corbel toward the net. Ball has it, gobbles it up, and holds for the whistle. So a couple of seniors were trying to cash in there, including Levelarte. Porter Erb was also alongside. Levelarte still searching for his first varsity goal. Going to be quite a night to get it. Camden Martin, another top gun on this Peters Township squad, backhanded it off of Ball's leg and off the outside of the net. Martin regathers here at the sidewall in the neutral zone, fed it over on near wing, picked off and gunned in by Alex Brown. Here's a backhand maneuver by Ringwald. And a lead pass. Martin's going to the net. He couldn't take the pass there, though, from his line mate. I believe that was Mertens. Another icing against Cathedral Prep. Nolan Hilbert slings it away from his net. Wearing the all-black equipment. Sharp look with his jersey. That's especially true. Peters Township's worn these unis for a handful of years now. Some years more than others. This one they've, I think, only worn it twice. This game and the Miners Cup game against Ken and Mac, pardon me. They're rink rivals here at Printscape Arena. New Paver, the freshman, pries it loose. Forrester toward the goal, bouncing around. Ball made another save. And a lot of time spent in front of the net for Cathedral Prep. They got to get this puck out, and they do. Vinny Scalise chips it off the window. There was a hit behind the play as Ringwald lugs it through center ice. Kobe Ringwald got on the board against Baldwin last time out, centering one, and that's chipped off the glove of Ball by Camden Martin. Ringwald to the corner with this. Mertens testing Ball, and he makes another stop. That's at least 6 or 7 shots on goal, with a few more that missed or were blocked by Peters Township. The Tribe is tilting the ice to start. And I mentioned they rode a fast start against Cathedral Prep the last time they played to a victory up in Erie. Peters Township hasn't really favored any period. They've outscored opponents handily in every frame, though. But no period's been a trouble spot for them. I guess the only one would be overtime, right? When they got scored on against Upper St. Clair. The last time we had a game for you here from Printscape featuring PT. Kovac pivoting out of the corner, handed it off to his frequent line mate, Will Tomko, but he's stripped. Got it right back, though, did Tomko. Put it on net. Ball kicked it out. Kovac regathering and regrouping for PT. Tomko to the outside, right in front of the net again. Ball makes that stop, and where is it? It's under his pad somewhere. He has a seat and gets the stoppage. Outstanding start for Peters Township. Opening 5 minutes of this game have been exactly how Rick Tingle would want to play it. So the Jones, New Paver, and Maeda line head out there, and Jones to take this face-off. Troy Jones scored a hat trick, by the way, in that S-Mark Stars win. I believe it was against Carshield of St. Louis. Another wrist shot right on goal, and another save by Ball. The theme continues. But anyway, it was great to see some Peters Township representation. I also saw Rick Tingle checking out the game between the 18U S-Mark Stars and Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. There was a lot of young talent gathered in Pittsburgh this past weekend, from 11 and under all the way up to 18 and under. Maeda couldn't clear this, and what do we have here? Just a penalty. Now they're just going to face it off outside the line. Referee March calling a delayed offside, I believe, against Cathedral Prep. I saw our good friend Todd Hendry will not be reffing this game. He's on a trip somewhere, I believe up in the upper Midwest. Thought it said Minneapolis, but I could be mistaken. It being his Facebook story from the Spam Museum, of all things. Okay. Didn't think I'd be saying that tonight, but here we are. Sometimes it just comes out. Prep with the dump in. Kinnear. But once more, Hudson Phillips will take it back for Peters Township. And the puck glides out the center after Alexander tied up with Logan Taylor. Phillips' pass partially fanned on that one. Now out to the line, kept there. Alexander on the give. Jones whips it wide from the left face-off circle. Around the horn and out. PT back on it. Toss down the near side boards. Maeda, Alexander falling down, but poking it forward to Jones. Long shift for him, but he's still out here. His wrist shot weakened on the way, deflected out of play by Ball with 10.5 to go in the first period. No goals, no penalties yet. Peters Township has won 4 of its past 5, and the one it didn't win was an overtime loss. One of the games of the year. Back and forth, they and Upper St. Clair went 2 weeks ago before Cullen Ruffner won it in sudden death. But Peters Township has garnered at least 1 point, and often 2 in their last 5 games since the start of the new year, really. They've been hot, and they're 2 points back of Central Catholic for the top spot. And here's our first power play of the game. Penalty called against Cathedral Prep. Tomko lines one up. He's scored from there a couple of times this year, but that one was off the target. To Tomko, another shot. Ball save, rebound, another stop on Malley, who went down to both knees, but still backhanded that one on frame. Shunted down the ice and out by Cathedral Prep. Peters Township's power play. 15 for 45 on the year, 33%. Cathedral Prep's penalty kill, though, pretty darn solid as well, 87%. Kovac got his stick hacked out of his hands, won't get a penalty call. Matthias Sprickman couldn't clear. Tomko was there, made a man miss, fed it in front. 1 save and 2 and a third for Ball on Malley. At the doorstep, Austin Malley usually gets it done from that range, but he was stuffed by Ball. Maybe a little too close to Ball in that case. 14 shots on net now for Peters Township, as they go to work on this power play. Ball is going to end up with 60 saves if the Ramblers aren't careful. And if PT doesn't start finishing. Ringwald, his chance. Ball, another stop. You got to earn him against Tanner Ball. Ringwald thought about passing across, instead fed it deep to Mertens. Now below the goal line, Camden Martin. Facing the center of the ice, gave it away. Well, actually, no, it was off of a stick and deflected out the center off of Maeda's twig. Maeda on the re-entry. Spun around the kick plate. Past Martin to the point. Ringwald, no problem, he's got it. Snapshot by Maeda, missed high. And around the boards now to goes. A half minute to go on this power play. 9 to play in the first period. First advantage for either team. PT has allowed the 1 shorthanded goal on the year. Cathedral Prep has 6 shorties. One of the top squads in that category in AAA, behind, I believe, only Upper St. Clair. Side of the net chance. Knocked down and poked wide off the opportunity for Jones and company. And down the rink it goes again. Nolan Hilbert figures he's not getting a lot of action. He better go out and play this puck. Ringwald takes, power plays over. PT 0 for 1 halfway through this first. Mertens, tripped up. There's no call there. Connor Eubank couldn't get around the edge. Mertens will retake back for PT under some duress. He makes it a good pass. And then he was belted down back in the Peters Township zone. Jones, meanwhile, gains the line. Swerving in. Jones to the doorstep again with that shot pass, but it was deflected right behind Luca Maeda. And this is offside against Cathedral Prep. Brown stretched back but couldn't keep his skate blade on the blue as the Ramblers moved in on the counterattack. Here's a look at that rush. Eubank with the puck, but there you see Brown, not even close. Didn't give it much of an effort, honestly. The penalty to Cathedral Prep, by the way, was to Will McBriar for roughing. Did not see the call, frankly, but it was made. And regardless, the power play is over. There's a shot on net that Hilbert had to stop. Rylan Sorge guiding it toward the target. But Hilbert, no problem. Erb gets the body on Nickerson. Sorge lost control of the puck. Sorge again, a backhand hit his own man. And right back to Peters Township. Nearly 7 minutes to go in this first period. In behind the Ramblers' goal. Bunted off the boards by Matthias Sprickman. Drifted away from his reach. He tries to poke up the boards and does. Sprickman, who scored a couple of goals the last trip in here for Cathedral Prep against Cannon Mac. We had that game for you. I believe it was in late December. It might have been early part of January. Malley, sharp angle, save ball, rebound, and it's put off the pad from close range, and the rebound of that goes all the way back down into Peters Township real estate. Corbel to Tomko, helping out in his own defensive zone. He swings it back to Kovac. And Cathedral Prep put on the pressure here with the forecheck, but Taylor overskated. So PT gets a reprieve. Down the wing. It was Malley. Now Tomko right between the circles. Couldn't get the shot off in traffic. That pass came from Kovac. Ben Kovac has 19 assists, 31 points. Both lead this Peters Township team. He and Tomko following up on their outstanding varsity debuts last year. And here's the steal and a centering pass that skips right by Kovac. Malley doing the work on the far wing. But the Indians' alternate captain just couldn't get that pass where he wanted it to after he out-muscled a defender. Brown on the shoot-in. Off the cross corner with 5.5 to go in the first period. Moved around the boards, chipped up and out by Tomko. He's great at that. We've seen that a few times this year. Kovac tried to slide it to him. Now Tomko in front, one-timer! And Ball with a spectacular save on Malley from 10 feet away. Tanner Ball's your star this first period, that's for sure. At least so far. Tomko had his man, and what a great pass it was, and Ball was looking behind him when that puck hit him as he slid out athletically. And even corralled the rebound, too. That's a lot to ask, but he pulled it off. Newpaver took it away. It was going to be a high stick on the puck, so the Ramblers had to back off. Let's see if PT can make them pay. Cole Newpaver, an outstanding freshman season. As it flipped by him, though, and now Mertens flips it back into his own end, where Wesley Forrester can control. Front of the net, Forrester, hard off the glass. Flushed by Sprickman and out by Peters Township. Martin couldn't intercept that exit pass. Dumped in by Peters Township. And Martin again just barely misses, picking it off in the neutral zone. The two sides exchange possession in quick succession, and it's back to the Tribe. Lively bounce off the side boards. Two Indians left it behind, Newpaver and Mertens. Mertens, though, kept this one alive inside the blue line. Mertens trying to hand it off. He will get it to Martin. His shot deflected over the goal. Ill-advised pass broken up by Mertens. Newpaver wanted to get it right back to the captain, but it's picked off. And Cunningham knocked down by Ringwald, who stepped up, timed his hit perfectly. Phillips just trying to find a stick with that pass, a friendly one that is, but the Indians couldn't get it deep. Drop back, shot by Braden Sprickman, saved by Hilbert, and that was a close call as it bounces all the way back into Cathedral Prep territory. 0-0. Peters Township and Cathedral Prep from Printscape Arena. My name is Matt Gajtka, this is 10 Band TV, and this is an icing. Well, Cathedral Prep went a solid, 7 or 8 minutes without a shot on goal, and they got two right there in a hurry, one on a rebound chance. And the shot clock doesn't matter in that case. The shots are 20-3. Most dominant shots on goal margin I've seen from Peters Township in the early going of a game this season, that's for sure. Caleb Dacus helped get it out for Cathedral Prep. Under 3 to go in the first. Phillips turned it over to Braden McGarry. To the corner, though, and again, Peters Township just winning all the 50-50 battles. Jones looking to slide right through, but on his deke, he was bumped off the puck. Shot from distance, missed everything from McGarry. Maeda banged it off a skate. Now Jones, cross rink. Phillips on the angled give, looking for Martin. Too far for him. Now Erb joins the fray in the attacking zone. Chip past everyone for an icing against the Ramblers again. Thanks to Donaldson Supply Company for sponsoring tonight's game, as well as the Mount Washington Shop and Save. We are officially in the final month of the PIHL regular season. With March will come the Penguins Cup playoffs, as always. Lebelarte softly down the wood. Martin, blind pass to the front, but nobody home for PT. Peters Township, North Allegheny, Seneca Valley, all tied for second place, 2 points behind Central Catholic. Yes, Central Catholic has the lead in the division, but the Vikings have played 2 and in some cases 3 more games than the teams immediately behind them. So good for the Vikings for maximizing or coming close to it in recent weeks, but it's hard to envision a scenario in which they're not passed by the end of the year. Another icing against Cathedral Prep. Peters Township has played 3 fewer games than Central Catholic, not counting tonight. Seneca Valley has played 2 fewer, North Allegheny 1 fewer. Central Catholic just has the 1 game left this regular season. Tomko wanted to bank it to the front, maybe off a stick. That's fended away. Backhanded down the wall by Kovac, and it's Tomko scoring! Will Tomko let it go, and what a release for his 19th goal of the season. 1-0 Peters Township in the final 90 seconds of period number 1. There you see the turnover. And Kovac did a great job getting it to Tomko, and Malley actually went right to the front looking for a tip or a rebound. Instead, the puck whizzed past Tanner Ball, the first one to beat him tonight. At the 21st shot for Peters Township. They finally get one behind. The Cathedral Prep netminder, Hilbert, makes a save on a strong shot from Liam Nickerson. And no further play. 1:12 left before the buzzer. Brown, Nickerson, and Scalise, the forward line for Mark Sprickman's Ramblers. They go to work below the goal line, forcing a turnover. But ripped right back by Peters Township. And it's Kovac taking it from Malley. He wanted to do a little outside-in move, but no sale there. Tomko follows on, though. Tomko, the shifty one, centering. Kovac! And he hit the outside of the post with that shot. Kovac had time to line that one up from 15 feet out. Now Kovac to Tomko. He's wide open again, and he's stopped by the glove of Ball. Kovac with 35 seconds. Trying to pin him to the end wall was Kinnear of Cathedral Prep. Could not do it. The puck remains loose. Tomko picks it up. He circles behind the goal. Wraparound try. Ball stopped that. Tomko again, a backhand pass this time. To the corner and Kovac. Under 20 seconds to go in the period. Kovac put it between one player's legs and got the shot away, but that was blocked. 10 seconds to go in the period. Forrester, far side. Ringwald needs a shot quickly. Down to 4 seconds. Shooting, and that's off of Ball and the end boards. Back to the point, and it bounces around as time runs out. So Will Tomko, his 19th goal of the season, assisted by Ben Kovac, his 20th helper, has Peters Township ahead after 17 minutes. We'll take a short break on 10 Band TV and then back for the second period from Printscape Arena. Stay with us. There are the road jerseys hung up, representing the 9 seniors, celebrated before tonight's game. Typically in recent seasons, Peters Township has had its senior recognition day on a Sunday, and they've either played a game or had some sort of a scrimmage afterward. The game had been against Meadville for several years running, I do remember. This year, though, before an actual game. And Peters Township has rewarded Rick Tingle for that decision by putting up 26 shots in the first period. They outshot Cathedral Prep 26-4 in the opening frame, but it's still just a 1-0 lead, and it took almost all the way to the end of the period for PT to cash in. So credit to Tanner Ball, who's made 25 saves already. That's a full night's work for a lot of goalies, including in Peters Township's last couple of games. Kyle Thomas made 48 combined saves. Ball's halfway to that in one period. Martin ran over a Rambler. That got a rise out of the crowd after Martin couldn't get the shot off, and this lead pass is deflected over the glass by Joey Walter, junior forward for Cathedral Prep. Beyond Braden Sprickman, there's a handful of Cathedral Prep players who've scored multiple goals. Logan Taylor, Connor Eubank have 5. They're tied for second. Then it's Walter and Brown and Liam Wade, the defenseman. I haven't seen Wade out there yet today. Actually, there he is right in front of the net. So good timing. This pass tipped into the screen. We'll face it off in the Cathedral Prep end. Then 3 goals for Matthias Sprickman, Ethan Cunningham as well. On the PT side, Will Tomko's got 19. Ben Kovac has 12. Ryder Mertens has 10. Austin Malley on the verge of double digits as well. He's gotten it to 9 with 3 goals in his last 2 games. Cole Newpaver, Camden Martin with 5 goals each. Also, Mayetta and Charlie Caputo have 2. And a handful with 1. PT's the top scoring outfit in Class AAA, 4.8 goals per game. Around the wall by Corbel. Mertens flips it out by means of escape. And Martin stays on it tenaciously. Got a man in front, and that's Newpaver, but the pass was behind him. Didn't help that Newpaver's a righty. So get that through, it probably would have had to been a pass to his backhand. Centering play, and just wide of the net on the one-timer from Alex Brown. Nickerson put it on a platter for him, and he couldn't hit the net. Cutting in, Maeda looking strong, feeding it off for Jones's shot into the bread basket of Tanner Ball. One nothing Peters Township on a Will Tomko goal, even strength tally. Just the one penalty in this game. It went to Cathedral Prep. CP needs just 1 point out of its final 4 games to make the playoffs. They come in with a record of 9-7, and Peters Township is 12-3-1. Another outstanding regular season for Peters Township. It's a broken record, but it's a sweet sound for sure. Maeda dishing it back to Ringwald. Up over Maeda's head on the return. Drew Alexander couldn't flag it down either. Front of his net, pulling it up and giving it away was McBriar. Alexander blocked with that shot. And it's Dacus, the defenseman, getting up ahead into the play. Leading the rush, in fact. Chipped it behind the goal. Wateska on the retrieval. Matthias Sprickman off the blocker hand of Hilbert into the end wall. Maeda, nifty exchange. Troy Jones is away. Jones, a couple of strong cuts to his forehand. Lost control briefly, so he has to shoot in. Sprickman fed it up the near boards. Erb popped it loose. And Matthias Sprickman takes care of the rest. Back out to the red line and hammered right back in by Peters Township. Cleared down the rink, nobody there for Erie. Cathedral Prep icing the call. Still left on the schedule for Peters Township. They'll be at Upper St. Clair this coming Thursday, February the 9th. Matt Popchak will be on the call from the Ice Castle. 9 o'clock face-off. And then the following Tuesday, Valentine's Day, PT is off before playing the final 2 Tuesdays of the month against Cannon Mac here in the revenge matchup after the Miners Cup game, won by PT 7-1 back in early December. And Peters Township will host Bethel Park on the 28th, the final day of February. We'll have that for you on 10-Band TV, of course, as we always do for all the PT home games. And I'll be, Lord willing, on the call, as I always am for the PT home games. On the backhand dish, this is shuffleboarded in by Nico Vavala of Cathedral Prep. McBriar banged into, and the puck comes loose. Will Tomko, those effortless skating strides, or at least it looks like it from here. Drop pass, Kovac with a high riser. That missed everything. Karams out to the point. Held in by Hudson Phillips, junior, first-year varsity D-man. Tomko, another great season. Now off to Malley, blasted it wide, far wing. Corbel lifts it behind. Lugged out and fed to Phillips, puts it on goal, and Ball saw it the whole way. He's got it in the glove, keeping it 1-0. It's been almost complete domination by Peters Township, but because of that guy, number 47 in net, the Ramblers remain one shot away from tying it up. The shots are 28-6. By the way, it was Tomko from Kovac and Malley. The first line all contributes on the score sheet to that goal. They'll score with 1:21 to go in the first period. And that's been it. It's a one-time shot that Hilbert has to stop on the drive by Eubank. He's had a couple of looks in this game. This point shot never got through. Duccini pitchforks it below the goal line. Martin on his backhand, and the righty shooter does get it out. Eubank wanted to wrist in. Erb interrupted that. The puck still ended up behind the PT goal. Flipped up the near side. D'Amico couldn't clear. Nathan D'Amico has it again. The senior still looking for his first point as a varsity player. Both he and Lebalarte could be the ones to make it a great story on senior night. Snap shot and held by Ball on the drive by Porter Erb, who does have a goal this year in his first and only varsity season for Peters Township. We'll drop the puck at the face-off dot to the left of Tanner Ball. Stage right. Hammered off the boards, and guess what? We'll face it off again from the same spot. Big thank you to all the companies who've entrusted their name to the airwaves here on 10 Band TV throughout the year. It's been a great success to have all the sponsorships we've been able to help out local companies with, get them some exposure. There's the Peters Township Gold sponsors, by the way. Nicely timed by the director, Todd Kazarowski. Wade nearly cashed in there on a solo rush, missed the net. Blasted by Dacus, did not get it through. Mertens now. On the headman, has Martin. Camden Martin floated a shot. That was an odd one. Might have gone off a stick. And over the net. Now Martin knocks down Ryland Sorge in the corner. Martin not known for his physicality, but that time, or actually it was Scalise who fell in a heap. Camden Martin with the 15 points on the year shows he's more than just a scorer. And here is Martin again. Trying to run the gauntlet, left it behind, right to Newpaver, and he missed the net short side. 20 feet out, he had a good look. Another icing against Cathedral Prep. So the Ramblers are just holding on right now, but doing so because their goaltender's been so good for the most part. He has 29 saves, not even halfway through the game. We're looking at a record performance here if Cathedral Prep keeps such records. Some teams do, some teams don't, especially an unofficial record like a shot on goal. I don't know, but we're getting into that range. Rarefied air. Down the wall and behind the net. That's where the battle is on. And won again by Peters Township. Phillips. Cross rink. Corbel wide of the goal. Maeda trying to hack it in, and he could not beat the glove of Ball and his body pinned against the post. Ashton Duccini, his defenseman, gives him the tap, saying thank you for another save, sir. I think Ball's going to get that save percentage over 900 by the end of the night at this pace. He was at 894 coming in with a great sized sample as well because he's played every minute of every game for the Ramblers. In front one-timer, Jones is denied, point blank basically. And an early whistle. Ball got the benefit of the doubt there from the men in stripes. That referee is explaining something to Ball at the moment. The net didn't come off, I don't think. No, everything's fine there. So the face-off will be at the right dot. A familiar spot in recent minutes. And the Tomko, Malley, Kovac line is out again. It has terrorized Cathedral Prep this evening, and a lot of folks, to be honest. Intercept, Kovac, Tomko, backside, Malley, backhand, stopped by Ball, still loose though. Kovac gives it over, Tomko had a bad angle, couldn't shoot it. Now Phillips on goal, and Ball again makes the stop. It's getting comical. He's going to be at 40 saves shortly. That's 32. Thanks again to the live scores. as well. They can give us this information to help flesh out the broadcast, give you some context. I call high school hockey up here in Michigan, and it's very rare that I'm able to do this with those games because they just upload the scores after the fact, and a lot of times the box scores aren't even close to complete. Snapshot, ball makes the save, and what's the call here? I think it is a penalty. Referee Gajtka had his hand in the air, signaling a couple of minutes coming to Ethan Cunningham of Cathedral Prep. The second penalty of the game, both to the Ramblers. Didn't catch the call, but I'll have it for you shortly on that aforementioned live box posted on PIHLhockey.com. So the PT power play gets it off to Tomko for a one-timer. Didn't get a lot on it, but into traffic nonetheless. Ball saw it as it bounced off the CP on his chest. Tomko cruising center point. Kovac, Tomko on the exchange, he scores! Might have been deflected in. Malley was there. He's celebrating like he might have touched it. If it wasn't him, it's Tomko whizzing it through traffic and into the top left corner. Will Tomko's got 20 goals for a second straight season in the PIHL, and I think it might have been untouched all the way, but a great screen from Malley nonetheless. A power play goal, and PT's doubled its lead. 2-0. With 8:38 to go, essentially halfway through the game here in this second period. And it does go to Malley initially. Mertens all the way in. He hit the bar with that shot. Mertens drop pass. It's a good one. Martin centering. Mertens wanted to go back to Newpaver, but he had skated behind the net, had the freshman center. Fisher high off the window with that one. Kinnear's run over by Martin. It's gotten into him in this game, huh? Martin takes his feed from Mertens. Knuckler on net. Ball blockers it to the near side wall. Ryland Sorge fed it back. McBriar fumbled that one, had to go chasing after it. Lost command, it's poked by him. Counterattack Peters Township. Newpaver stretched out, but he couldn't take that aerial feed from Mertens. Mertens on the near side. Cracked it out to the point, no one there. Wristed back in with 7.5 to play in the second period. This is Matt Gajtka on 10-Band TV. Peters Township trying to tie Central Catholic for the top spot in Class AAA with a win of any kind tonight. Doesn't matter. Regulation, overtime, shootout. A win is what it'll take, and they will still have 2 games in hand on the Vikings. Caven Fisher athletically grabs this one. Nubbed into the corner. D'Amico backhand pass, looking for Levelarte, but it slid around his reach. Corbel has it poked past him. Brown behind the net, left it behind. He curses himself as the Indians head back up ice, but they mishandle near the red line. Levelarte bumped into a Rambler. Brown gets a second try on the carry-in, and he's there safely into the zone. Left it back. Matthias Sprickman on his backhand. Off to Nickerson. Could not get it back. Kept in briefly at the point by Duccini, but Peters Township's right back on it. Ringwald, outstanding stick handling and skating. Ringwald to the doorstep. He's denied by Ball. Herb's in the middle here, looking for a pass. Herb behind the goal. As D'Amico in the slot, Herb shoots it, and it bounces away from Levelarte. Now D'Amico hacking at it. He couldn't get it by Ball. Under 6 to go before the ice cut. Levelarte reverses the flow of play. Ringwald to Levelarte. Behind the net. Away from the outstretched D'Amico, but Troy Jones takes the shot, score! Too much power from Troy Jones. The sophomore connects for his 6th goal of the season. And Peters Township has stretched its lead to 3 on senior night. Is the levee finally breaking? That levee named Tanner Ball went down awkwardly on one knee to the goaltender as Jones pulled the trigger and scored. 2 for Tomko, 1 for Jones. And Peters Township in firm command here at home. And it's Alexander rambling down the wall, but he's bumped off the puck, left it behind. Taylor, up ice. Alexander looking for Jones, but the pass intercepted. Taken back by Taylor, offside. Cathedral Prep, 5:08 left in the second period. The late game tonight, which we won't have on 10-band TV for once, is Pine Richland against Cannon Mac. Pine Richland Rams are tied for 5th place with Upper St. Clair, 1 ahead of Cathedral Prep. I misspoke earlier. Cathedral Prep is in 6th place at 18 points. Deflected over the goal. Peters Township and Malley could not get it out. Wade to Cunningham. Softly behind the net, Eubank. Spun off the puck by his opposite number, Hudson Phillips. And Maeda to Malley. Slips inside on the smooth deke, but knocked off the puck. He wanted a penalty. He's not going to get one. Alexander pokes it to Jones. Twisting pass to the front. Off a stick. And the Ramblers go the other way. 4.5 left in the second. Hilbert makes a save on a 55-footer. Straight up the wall goes Phillips, leading the rush, but his pass off a stick. Cunningham thought about ripping it, but instead passed it and then gave it away. Porter Erb down the wing. Erb, he's stopped by Ball. Malley left it. Shot. No, it's a pass. It goes on to Kovac and deflected over the tall glass. I think that actually was a shot that ended up right on Kovac's stick, off the deflection, in fact. Hey, it all works. No one ever said hockey was a perfect, or hockey was a game of perfect, to borrow a phrase. Malley against Vavala, and Malley controlled cleanly. Corbel back for this one. Fisher. Nice deflected pass on to Kovac, left it behind. Here's Malley, stopped by Ball somehow. That was Tomko, by the way, not Kovac. With the jaunt into the offensive zone that opened things up. 3:37 left. And we'll get the Zamboni out here. Corbel couldn't press it down the wall. Sorge had his pass blocked. Sorge got it back, though, on the handoff from Vavala. Vavala's shovel play to the front. Tapped away from Sorge before he could get there. Vavala to Sorge. Right back to Nico Vavala, but there's Tomko swooping in to poke it away. And PT can break back with Malley. Tomko for the hat trick. Save, rebound, another stop. Wow. Ball's best save of the game, and then it bounces off the end glass and right over the net into his glove. What a game for Tanner Ball, and Malley even gives him a tap on the pads. He's trailing 3-0, but doing everything humanly possible. That's his 41st save. Look at that. Incredible play from Tanner Ball. Still just a junior. So the Ramblers can count on him again next season, hopefully. Martin, wraparound on the backhand. Blocked down either by Ball or one of his defenders. Dupaver takes it, centers it, intercepted. Up the ice they go. Scalise. He has Nickerson in the middle, elected to spin it around the wall, and right back in the possession of Peters Township. Drop pass and whipped off the glass. Another chance there by D'Amico. He's stopped by Ball. Here's a look at that replay. Pardon me, that was Mertens who had the chance. Ryder shooting it one-handed, and then the puck bounced right back to him, but still couldn't beat Ball, who closed down that half-open net in a hurry. "46 shots for Peters Township. They're going to get to 60 without really trying at this point. And it's Mertens to the line, and Forrester slammed it back to Mertens. Near side, open man there, Martin, and he missed the goal, pulled it wide. Wesley Forrester kicked it down the wood. He got it back again to the left-handed shooting defenseman. Jammed it deep. There's Kinnear. Around to the far side, Forrester flicking it in the air. Left it back, shot by Mertens, gloved and held by Ball, who's got to be dog-tired at this point. 1:41 before he can take a break. You thought 26 shots was a lot in the first period. Peters Township is just 4 away from matching that. I wouldn't bet against him at this point. Anthony Levelarte gets an assist on the Troy Jones goal. That's Levelarte's second point of the year, both assists. The senior wears number 24, in case you didn't know. Jones streaking up the wing. Checked down, puck loose, and picked up by Will McBriar. I don't think Braden Sprickman is out there, by the way, today for Cathedral Prep. That doesn't help, does it? Turned over. Jones. Backdoor pass. Alexander couldn't fish it out of traffic. Maeda with about a minute to go in the period. His drive at his own man, Alexander, in the back of the skate. Yeah, so no Sprickman, Braden Sprickman that is, for Coach Mark Sprickman. That's going to lessen their chances to win in a big way. At both ends of the ice, really. Taylor looking to feed it. That's off a leg. McBriar down the boards with this one. McGarry. Fanning on the shot was Taylor as the puck was bouncing. In a 3-0 game, can PT add to it? Jones already has one today. Put it up in front and under the stick of Alexander. Actually good back checking from McBriar. Jones whips it off a body into the corner. 20 seconds left. Alexander couldn't take this pass. Kovac was in the zone, and the whistle sounds. Stopping play with 12 seconds remaining. The call we can presume was offside. Aerial play by Cathedral Prep. Gloved and dropped by Corbel. 5 seconds to go in the period. In front of the net. Malley couldn't take that pass as it hit a shin guard at the side of the net. 49 shots on goal for Peters Township. 46 saves for Tanner Ball. But complete domination and everywhere but the scoreboard, and it's still a comfortable lead for the Indians. 2 goals for Will Tomko, numbers 19 and 20 on the season, and also Troy Jones got in the act with an even strength marker near the end of that second period. There's your score, 3-zip PT. Nolan Hilbert, nothing behind him on 8 shots on goal, by the way. So, yes, the shots on goal are 49-8 through 2. Back on 10-band TV to wrap up the night's coverage on senior night at Printscape for Peters Township. So far, so good for the Tribe.
I've been around a time or two. I've been around and round with you. You don't like the way I carry myself, woman. Maybe it's time for you to choose. You tell me that I'm drinking.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. You utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
I've been around a time or two. I've been around and round with you. You don't like the way I carry myself, woman. Maybe it's time for you to choose. You tell me that I'm drinking.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. You utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Third period on tap from Printscape Arena. Peters Township ahead 3-0 on senior night, and Noah Senior has not scored a goal yet. 2 for sophomore Will Tomko and 1 for sophomore Troy Jones. But Ben Kovac, the junior, has a couple of assists. Austin Malley and Anthony Levelarte, a couple of seniors, have assists as well. So we got a couple of seniors on the board. And, of course, the senior between the pipes, Nolan Hilbert, is working on a clean sheet so far, but it's not really about him so far in this game. It's been an interesting one in that regard because the opposing goaltender, Tanner Ball, for Erie Cathedral Prep, has so far stopped 46 shots. That's right, 4-6 through 2 periods of play. And like I said, I don't know if Cathedral Prep keeps save records, but if they do, I have to believe Tanner Ball is within range of this one. And there is that young man who has been the busiest man on the ice in a lot of ways, at least when it comes to handling rubber shot his way. It hasn't even been close. The shots are 49-8 through 2 periods as the two teams wait to go ahead to hit the ice again. So let's take the opportunity one more time to honor the 9 seniors who were honored before the game, as seen earlier on this broadcast on 10 Band TV. Those seniors are Hudson Phillips, Porter Erb, I should say. Hudson still got one more year. Porter Erb, Kobe Ringwald, Anthony Levelarte, Wesley Forrester, Richie Woods, Nathan D'Amico, Austin Malley, and Nolan Hilbert. Hilbert, who is responsible for the 2022 on the banner you see in front of you there. At the bottom, of course, in the middle, the PA State Championship, the 6th in the history of Peters Township. Hilbert was in net for that. And also, of course, the Penguins Cup Championship that goes along with that. And how about that record when it comes down to the state tournament, the state championship game, I guess you could say. There really is no tournament. You just go from the Penguins Cup right to the state final. But 6 of the 7 times that Peters Township's won the Penguins Cup, they have gone on to win the state. And there's also an opportunity this season to add to the banner on the left, division titles, which is the regular season championship in Class AAA. PT, with a win tonight, would tie Central Catholic for first in the class, and they would still have 2 games in hand on Central Catholic, which doesn't play for a couple of weeks yet. They have a long break due to the Vikings. We went over that the last time that we saw them play. They were in here to play Cannon Mac a couple of weeks ago, and we had that broadcast right here on 10 Band. But if PT wins it, it'll be their 13th victory of the year, tying them with Central Catholic, and it'll put them at 27 points level with Central Catholic as well. PT's lost just 3 times in regulation all year, plus the 1 in overtime. Either way you slice that up, that's the fewest number, the smallest number, the fewest number of losses, both in regulation and overall in AAA. So Peters Township has the best points percentage in the league. That's another way to put that. They are level right now for at least the next few minutes with Seneca Valley and North Allegheny. 6 up on Upper St. Clair and Pine Richland, 7 ahead of Cathedral Prep, their opponent tonight. And there's the bench, Rick Tingle and Cliff Bumford. Chris Claxon on the bench this year. There's Will Tomko talking things over with a member of the staff. Tomko won the AAA goal scoring crown as a freshman last year, and he's on pace to do something similar this season. No guarantees, of course, but he's in really good shape. As, now he's been able to get within 3 of Braden Sprickman, the top goal man in AAA. Colin Ruffner of Upper St. Clair, he and Aaron Stawarski of the Panthers are tied up 40 points to lead the class, but Ruffner has 22 goals, Sprickman has 23, and now Tomko has 20, so he could pull this thing off with a hot finish. And there's still a period to go in this one, of course. And the way that PT has poured pucks on net, I wouldn't bet that it's going to finish 3-0. But Tanner Ball has been defying expectations all night long. The definition of a workhorse, he's played every minute of every game for Cathedral Prep. Ian Brown is the nominal backup. You do see him sitting on the bench on your device screen right now. But Ball, 47, he's been the man all year. And for good reason, as we've seen tonight. I'm not sure I've seen a better goaltending performance in the PIHL, in fact, and he's losing by 3. That tells you how well Peters Township has played. And we're ready to drop the puck almost. Referee Gajtka and referee March are in position. 17 minutes loaded on the clock. Final period of play. Ready to begin on 10 band. My name is Matt Gajtka. Thank you for joining us on PIHL High School Hockey Night Live. Brought to you by Mount Washington Shop and Save, as well as Donaldson Supply Company. You see them right up on your screen next to the scoreboard, or the score graphic. The score bug, as we like to say in the business. Doesn't sound quite as exciting as the scoreboard. Ball handles this on his forehand. Saucers it down the ice. Off the stick of his teammate Liam Nickerson. Doesn't help Cathedral Prep that apparently Braden Sprickman is unavailable. So he's been the man for them, at least as far as the skaters are concerned this year. Still has a chance to lead the league in goals, even missing this game as a defenseman. Martin behind the back pass. Intercepted by Liam Wade, but given right back to Ryder Mertens and the Indians. Mertens bounds it in behind. Malley scoops it along, but gathered in by Scalise. Up ahead and right back to the Peters Township line. This pass doesn't connect with anybody, and on the fresh ice, that's an icing call, easy. Ryder Mertens in the top 15 in scoring as well, along with Ben Kovac and Will Tomko. Tomko and Kovac each have 32 points now. This faceoff won by Cathedral Prep and snapped wide. And that's 2 behind Sprickman for the 3rd spot in the league. Also, Austin Malley, 17 points, easily inside the top 20. Make it 18 points with his assist tonight. In fact, Kovac, toe drag, wanted to go to Malley, it appeared, but the pass was behind him. Malley, one of the seniors on her before the game, dish to the corner, Kovac, deflected pass, and it floats out the center. That's a hand pass against Peters Township. In fact, that stops play. What you see behind the rink there is Bubba's Burgers. And you see the folks seated in the restaurant with the best seat in the house. Even better than mine. Unique setting here at Printscape. Bleachers on the near side, the restaurant on the far. Tomko with the rim around. Kovac nudges it behind the goal. Matthias Sprickman gave it away. Tomko for the hat trick. Stopped by Ball, and no rebound with Malley lurking. Getting close to 8:30 local time. We've got a 9 o'clock game on tap that will not be broadcast tonight. Ken and Mac hosts Pine Richland. The Rams are trying to solidify playoff position. Tied for 5th with Upper St. Clair. In fact, I think the Rams are in, if I'm not mistaken. Brian Mitchell of Pittsburgh Hockey Digest did a whole rundown of playoff clinching scenarios on his Twitter at PhD_Mitch, if you're interested. Alexander to the front, right back through the crease, but Maeda was tied up on the return pass. McBriar, high riser, too high as it turned out, over Hilbert's head and off the glass. 3 minutes gone in the 3rd. 3-0 Peters Township, trying for win number 13. A Maeda backdoor pass, and it's deflected wide by Jones, who has a goal in this game. Maeda tried to slug it toward the front, and it's ripped off his blade. McBriar on the back pedal. Cross rink by Kinnear. Broken up. Alexander offside. Peters Township just by a foot or so with Jones in ahead of the play. Herb on the draw. And Levelarte and D'Amico, all three seniors. Levelarte gloves this out of the atmosphere. The Indians are onside this time. Ball makes the save. Rebound in a dangerous area. Herb looked to scoot it toward the front. Sorge takes it, feeds it off the skate of McBriar and right back to the Tribe. Now 4 minutes into the period. Levelarte downshifts, shoots in. Ball left it right for an Indian, and D'Amico centering pass clicked under the stick of Herb and out to center. Mentioned earlier, Herb has a goal this year, but Levelarte and D'Amico don't. That line's gonna, well, start a line change. Herb skating in on the forecheck. Popped up the wall, coughed up, and shot over the net by D'Amico. So they're not off the ice yet. I spoke too soon. Matthias Sprickman setting sail. On the backhand pass. Mertens, his opposite number, got in the way of that. D'Amico stretching out. Nathan D'Amico into the corner with this puck. Now Mertens. But he couldn't center it. That was blocked down. Scalise wedges it free for Cathedral Prep. Vavala couldn't get behind the defense with the puck. Now Martin bumps Brown. Martin got it right back. Laid it on for the on-rushing Mertens. And another offside. New paver this time, the guilty man. Kind of a sloppy start to the third. 5.5 minutes into it. No goals, no penalties since we got back on the ice. Kovac drifts away from pressure. PT trying to win for the 5th time in 6 tries. This pass deflected on goal by Kovac, and Ball handles it expertly, as he has for most of the night. Peters Township, since the new year, they've been outstanding. Just the one loss in overtime. Outside of that, they've beaten fellow contenders, Seneca Valley, North Allegheny, and they've taken care of Baldwin and Bethel Park along the way, too. Slap shot redirected wide. Joey Wateska pumped it on goal. And Kovac on the overlap takes it away from a Rambler. Kovac trying to duck under a checker. This is Tomko. Cross rink. Wateska thought about stepping up, got caught in no man's land. It's poked past him. But Tomko, no worries, is back there to take. Takes on Brown, who intercepted the pass. Phillips clears around. Kovac to Tomko. Slicing through Tomko. He's stopped by Ball, but a penalty as he was infracted upon. I don't think it's a penalty shot. It is a hook. Hooking the call. Ball kept his pad to the ice. And denied Tomko's hat trick bid. Third power play for Peters Township. PT has not taken a single penalty in this game. Here's a second look at the opportunity for Tomko to get his third. First of all, Kovac put that pass in a perfect spot. Off the face-off win, Tomko curling by the line. Wanted to hit Martin with that just outside the top of the crease, but the pass eluded his reach. Ringwald off of Sprickman with that shot. And Matthias Sprickman tries to swing it up this near side wall, no sail. Tomko intercepted. Wrist shot through traffic, bounce to the corner boards. Kobe Ringwald on it. Not having as big of a year on the power play as he did last year in terms of points, but Ringwald's still dangerous. Has a power play goal and 2 power play assists this year. I believe last year he finished with something like 8 or 9 power play assists. Did number 19 in black. Plenty of space for a backhand chance for Mertens, who has 5 power play goals, but he's stopped on the rush by Tanner Ball. Still a 3-0 game. It doesn't have any right to be a 3-0 game. High stick on the puck, halts play. Kinnear is in the box, Tucker Kinnear for Cathedral Prep. We're a minute into the penalty, under 10 to go in regulation time. 54 shots for Peters Township. They don't have a single one conceded in this third. So what does Tomko have in mind? How about a saucer pass on the backhand to Kovac, who collected it well off his skate. Didn't have any options. Not a lot of speed, so he had to dump in. The Indians on it first, though. Tomko gets a return pass out high. He's worked that point all year. Go back to Tomko. Lets it fly. Save ball. Rebound is to Ringwald in the corner eventually. Ringwald has Newpaver behind the net and feeds it to him. Newpaver emerges. Quick give in front and deflected wide by Malley. Ringwald was there too. 19 seconds left on the power play. PT looking for a second PPG of the night and gunned offline by Kovac. And out the center, off the corner wall. Tomko, watch out. Nickerson pressuring hard. That's going to kill the rest of the penalty. So PT will be 1 for 3. Now more than halfway through this third period, though. In command and then some. Up 3-0. But give it away, and Hilbert has to make a great save. His best of the night on Brown. Alex Brown with a chance. PT did not have a shutout until last week when Kyle Thomas blanked the Bethel Park Blackhawks on the road 4-0. Had to make 18 saves in that game, did Thomas. Pass to the front ends up being a save for Ball off of Tomko's blade. Turned over, that was a goal, it is eventually put in by Maeda. Malley, I almost was certain he scored that goal on the turnover, but he's going to get a point either way, and Luca Maeda made sure the puck went over the goal line behind the sprawling Ball, who couldn't do anything about it. The puck just tantalizingly out of his reach by a couple of inches. Boy, that looked like it went under the back bar, not the crossbar, but I could be wrong. I think the goal is going to go to Maeda, just from eyeballing it. And look at this, we have a second replay as well from Todd Kazarowski and crew. Hard to tell from that angle. Came out so fast, I'm now inclined to think it was off the crossbar. But like I said, Malley's going to get his second point of the night with 7.5 to go in regulation to make it a 4-0 game. And if it is Maeda's, it's his third of the season. Luca Maeda had returned after missing a couple of months due to injury. Picked off. Here's Maeda again. Score! A 5-hole goal on Tanner Ball. 2 goals in 13 seconds for Luca. For those about to rock, we salute you. Peters Township wrapping up senior night with a couple of quick goals. This one on the turnover, and this one will be unassisted. Well, unless you want to give an assist to Liam Wade, I believe it was, who turned that puck over in the middle of the ice for Cathedral Prep. A couple of even strength goals back-to-back by Maeda, apparently. His third and his fourth of the season. Herb tried to pull the trigger, fanned on the shot. Could hear him scream. Well, scream isn't the right word maybe, but yelp in frustration. Wade, toe drag, but second move didn't work as Herb picked it off. Porter Herb on the dump in. To the side of the net, Wade threads the needle to McBriar. On the cross rink, Nickerson's shot was blocked by Wesley Forrester, senior defenseman. And Forrester, number 30, retrieves this puck. Wade goes across. Again, PT pressuring hard inside the blue line. D'Amico, this time, nearly the beneficiary of the turnover. Shot in past his reach. Behind the net, Tanner Ball leaves it. That's now 60 shots for Peters Township. 55 saves for Tanner Ball, but this one's gotten away from him and the Ramblers in the third. The shots are 60-10. Cathedral Prep not putting its best foot forward tonight. There's shot 61 and save 56 for Ball on Mertens' opportunity. I have never called a game with 60 or more shots for one team, so check that off the bucket list, I suppose. Our next broadcast on 10 Band TV will be Thursday, 9 o'clock start for Peters Township at, the team eludes me right now. Who is it? Upper St. Clair. Oh, that was smooth, wasn't it? Matthias Sprickman on the shoot-in. Why did I start the promo if I didn't know they were playing? The world may never know. Another intercept. Camden Martin this time. Spun it toward the front, but Newpaver couldn't get there, couldn't get the rebound either. Martin, stopped by Ball. Wanted to go against the grain and did, but Ball kept the pad down. 5 to go in the third, and now PT reasserting its will again. Corbel to the puck, spun away from the token pressure of Charles McBriar, and the Indians clear. Delayed offside. PT waits to tag up. It's poked back to their blue line and beyond. Corbel on to Maeda. Or pardon, Levalarte, I should say. Front of the net pass. Caputo couldn't shoot it. Fisher right into the mix with that. Ball dives out. Doesn't make a save, but does get the stoppage with 4:18 to go. There's Nathan D'Amico clapping his hands to, oh, who in the world is that? That's a wedding song, is it not? I'll get the artist for you. Oh, it's the Cha-Cha Slide. That's what it is. EJ Casper. Didn't have that. Thanks, Google. Either way, Charlie Caputo's a fan. Toward the front, Levalarte. This is what happens when it's 5-0 with 4 minutes to go. Porter Herb gathering and wristing. That's off of D'Amico in front, I think, and stays in play. Levalarte, power forward type, big right-handed shooter. Dished it back to the point. Shot didn't get through. Herb wanted to snipe one. Too high with that wrister. Alex Brown leading the charge back for Cathedral Prep, trying to break the goose egg at least. PT aiming for its second shutout win in 3 games after going the whole year without one. Like I mentioned, that's odd considering they've given up the second fewest goals, just 2.5 per game. And it's a 2-on-1. Tomko finishes the hat trick. Will Tomko, goal number 21 on the year. He scored 2 early. He gets 1 late. Maybe that'll cap it off. 6-0 Peters Township. And Anthony Lavalarte gets another assist. Look at that. Area pass. Tomko inside the post. Against Tanner Ball, who's done all that he can as a goaltender. But the 67th shot of the night gets behind him. And we could be looking at a PIHL record here. Or at least a Peters Township record. You'd have to think 67 shots. It's outrageous. 19 here in the third. And it's looking like it's going to be the lowest of the 3 period totals. But not yet. Jones. Shot, save, rebound. Maeda, his hat trick is in the back of the net. 7-0 Peters Township. And we've got dueling tricks again. We've seen it before here. We see it one more time. Luca Maeda polishing off the rush after Troy Jones handcuffed Ball with this shot. Jones with a point. He's got 2 on the night. The Indians have 68 shots. Jaromir Jagr, who, by the way, scored another goal for the Kladno Knights last week, just a couple days shy of age 51. Four goals in the third for Peters Township. Talk about finishing with a flourish. Maeda, Tomko, and Maeda in that order. And none of them on the power play, by the way. So the dam finally does burst behind Tanner Ball on this 68-shot attack. Ringwald lifts it behind the net, getting down to 2 minutes to go in regulation. Erb wants in on the scoring act. Joey Wateska got an assist on the third Tomko goal. It's his 4th assist of the year, tied for the team lead among blue liners. Scoop down the wall for Nickerson. And, well, Cathedral Prep still motivated here to do something because you never want to see that 0 next to your name in the final box. Cunningham on net, and that was a challenge for Hilbert, who has not been tested much. There's been 2 or 3 of these shots, though, for Cathedral Prep that have been good scoring opportunities. Not that one, which was a bit of a floater. Into his glove from the point by Cunningham again. 1:13 left, and actually it's a rolling clock with the 7-goal lead. So we could just have the one more face-off to go before we say goodnight from Printscape. 70 shots, the new total for PT. They do make it with 21 here in the third. 11 for Cathedral Prep by last count. Kevin Fisher with a pass that's off of a stick, but to Maeda, who has scored a third period hat trick. Now Jones is going to the net. That's broken up. Maeda had it stripped from behind. Backhand pass ahead of Wade. For Cathedral Prep, it's been a good season, but they're going to drop to 9-8, and they're not going to be able to clinch a playoff spot tonight. Previous to tonight, their worst loss was, guess what, 6-2 to Peters Township. One final stoppage, running clock, so time is going to expire. Quite the senior night as the senior Nolan Hilbert gets his first shutout of the year, his 6th victory between the pipes, and PT has blanked 2 of its last 3 opponents. It's won 3 in a row, 5 of 6, and it's tied for Central Catholic for first place in the PIHL Class AAA standings. Will Tomko nabs the hat trick getting him to 21 goals on the year. Luka Maeda scores 3 as well. Also, Ben Kovac, a couple of more points for him, 2 assists. 3 points for Austin Malley on last count, and 2 points for Anthony Levelarte, as well as Cathedral Prep is blanked for the first time this season. So not an easy task prior to tonight, but PT gets it done on senior recognition night. For the first time in a few years, they pair it with an actual PIHL league game, and it all goes well, all goes according to script. Your final shot totals in this game, 70-12, 7-0. Shots on goal for Peters Township, and 7 goals on the board for the highest scoring team in PIHL Class AAA. The Indians are right back at it on Thursday night at the Ice Castle when they face Upper St. Clair, trying to get some vengeance for an overtime defeat a couple of weeks ago, the only loss of any kind for Peters Township in the calendar year 2023. So they'll play the Panthers, who are playoff hopefuls themselves, on Thursday at 9. Matt Popchak will be on the call. Todd Kazarowski and his crew will be there at the Ice Castle for that one. For right now, though, this is Matt Gajtka saying good night from Printscape Arena. One last time, your final score, Peters Township 7, Cathedral Prep 0 on 10 Band TV. Talk to you next time.
I've been around a time or two. I've been around and round with you. You don't like the way I carry myself, woman. Maybe it's time for you to choose. You tell me that I'm drinking. time or two. I've been